All right, welcome back to the Brotherly Love podcast. And guess what? I finally made my first trip to the annual meeting of the Grand Lodge of Canada in the province of Ontario. I'm on day two now of the official Grand Lodge communication. And let me tell you, walking into the hall today for the opening, the official opening of Grand Lodge, and seeing hundreds of guys in their dark suits and the aprons and the grand masters and masters of the districts and the DDGM, and the Scottish piping in the background, welcoming the procession. Oh my goodness, that was certainly something else. But what's the main point of this huge gathering? And why do we have it every year? So, to get the big picture, we have to look at what the Grand Lodge actually does when it meets. Think of it as a mix of a corporate board meeting, a town hall, and a family reunion. Under the rules of our constitution, this annual meeting is the top authority for all our lodges across the province. So, first, we have, I guess you could call it like a state of the craft address. And this is the moment the Grand Master stands before the brethren. He reviews his term and shares his plans for the future. In this case, it's the end of his term, so he's more or less just reviewing what took place in the past 2 years. He lets us know what's working, what has worked, what's lagging, and where we need to put our shoulder to the wheel. It's a no nonsense, top down look at our health as an organization, showing us how we can do better in our own districts. Next, we vote on changes to our book of laws. Our constitution isn't some dead, dusty paper, it's alive, and sometimes it needs a tweak to fit our current times. If a lodge has a motion to change how we run things, this is where the votes happen. Every single master of a lodge, as well as the wardens, has a vote, which means your local lodge has a voice in the big decisions. Now, it's plain old democracy in action, and it keeps our rules square for everyone. Then comes the heavy lifting of regular business. We hear reports from the separate committees, from charity to lodge buildings. We pass motions to spend funds, approve budgets, and make sure everything is running on the square. We look at the book of reports and vote on business motions. It's where we handle the nuts and bolts that keep our local lodges alive and kicking. Truth be told, some of the motions I was just barely awake, but I made it all the way to the end. Finally, we elect our new leaders, and this is a big deal. As a matter of fact, I think the votes are still being tallied for the incoming Deputy Grand Master. We still don't know. We vote for the new Deputy Grand Master, the District Deputy Grand Masters, and the members who will sit on the Board of General Purposes. So no political ads or campaigns are allowed at the Grand Lodge, and even before Grand Lodge communication. What we're trying to do is to find the right guys who've shown that they're ready to serve the brethren. So that's the main work of the annual meeting. It's how we keep the whole craft united and moving in the same path. So if you're planning to head to Grand Lodge communication in the near future, I'd like to share a few tips with you, given that this is my first time attending. All right, so on to the good stuff. Survival tips. If you're heading to your very first Grand Lodge, here are some pointers that will keep you out of trouble and help you make the most of your first trip. First off, if you can get the time off from work, I'd say stay for both days. Seriously. Don't just run in for a couple of hours and head home, especially if you're traveling all the way from, a different province outside of Ontario. One day just doesn't do it justice. You miss the best parts, the late night laughs, the breakfast chats, and the lasting connections. I'd say don't blow your hard-earned cash on the fanciest spot in the city. I stayed at the budget hotel, which was right next door to the main one, and you know what? It was clean, it was quiet, and it saved me a bundle of cash. If you want to keep costs even lower, find a friend and split the bill. That leaves you with a little more cash in case you want to splurge on dinner. Next, let's get your gear sorted out. You already know you need your dark suit. But it's the little things that always seem to trip people up. Your tie, your belt, your cufflinks, your pins. And for the love of the craft, do not leave your regalia sitting on the kitchen table. Oh my goodness. A brother of mine from my district left his apron at home and he had to drive 90 minutes all the way back just to get his bag, then 90 minutes to return to the hall. That's 3 hours of driving because he didn't double check his packing list. Don't let that be you. Also, keep your dues card on you at all times. Put it right in your wallet or your jacket pocket. It's your passport to the various hospitality suites once you get to Grand Lodge. My last big tip, go to the hospitality rooms. Don't just head back to your bed and watch TV when the daily meetings wrap up. Go and mingle. You'll meet fellows from lodges you'll probably never get a chance to visit. You'll share stories, trade ideas, and make connections that you'll keep for years. That's what this fellowship is all about. Get your suit packed, check your pockets, and I'll see you at Grand Lodge. So I want to raise a glass and offer some massive congratulations to our outgoing Grandmaster, most worshipful brother Jamie R. Ireland. What a leader. I've had the distinct pleasure of meeting and talking with him on a number of occasions throughout his tenure. Every single time I came away struck by the same thing. He's an incredibly pleasant, unassuming fellow. No pretension, no ego. You'd think somebody of this office would be, kind of stuck up, but that's just not Brother Ireland. He's just a hard-working farm boy from Sarnia district and a dedicated family man. He never let the purple of his office change who he is. But make no mistake, ruling a jurisdiction of tens of thousands of Masons carries an immense burden. It was obvious that certain aspects of the job weighed heavily on his shoulders, especially the disciplinary duties. During his address, he became visibly choked up when speaking about dealing with un-Masonic conduct and the painful necessity of Masonic trials. It was raw and honest. He adjudicated these difficult matters with absolute fairness, quiet discretion, and a profound wish that he never had to do it in the first place. It simply comes with the territory. Well, that and a few more gray hairs. If you look closely, you notice that he looks a little bit older over the past 2 years. But let's look at the bright side. There is a fantastic new chapter waiting for him. Our most worshipful Grandmaster recently bought himself a motorcycle. So he tells us his wife Kelly wasn't entirely on board at first. Well, I'm not sure if she's on board right now. But we've all been there, right? I will bet you any money she will be riding right on the back as he cruises into his next chapter. He loves the craft, he loves his brothers, and he loves his wife. What more can we possibly ask for in a Grandmaster? Thank you, most worshipful brother, for your historic service. So what's the bottom line here? It's simple. You've got to make the trip. Stop sitting on the sidelines and get your plans in order for next year's annual communication. I remember feeling a bit lost in the crowd yesterday, but that vanished the second I saw familiar faces. Suddenly, I wasn't a stranger. I was home. Here's how to do it. Block out all 3 days if you can. On day 1, throw yourself into the workshops. Learn something new. Then, when the sun goes down, hit the hospitality suites. Shake some hands, share a laugh over a cold drink. That's where you find the true heart of our fraternity. On day 2, get yourself into the main hall. Yes, the business can get dry and you might be fighting to stay awake, but you need to be there. This is our democracy in action. When we vote on changes to our laws, we're keeping our rules true for the modern day. We take our solemn vows on the volume of the sacred law, but we put those vows to work right there on the voting floor. By the time day 3 rolls around, you'll pack your bags and you'll head home. You'll be tired, your feet will hurt, but you'll leave with something priceless. Bonds of friendship that span the province and last a lifetime. I'll be headed to the Grandmaster's banquet later tonight, so I'm about to get some sleep. This is a Brotherly Love podcast. Let's get to work.